From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Daniels Roofing, licensed, bonded, insured roofing contractor. 45 years of generational expertise, offering a variety of roofing systems in the North State. Composition shingles, metal, tile, fire-safe wood shingles, and spray foam roofing systems. An energy-saving cool roof, perfect for commercial flat roofs and mobile homes. With other companies, you may get a foreman or a salesman, but with Daniels Roofing, you get Daniel. Call today for your free estimate. Daniels Roofing, 3 generations working hard to protect your home and business.
It's the Crown Motors 4th of July sales event happening now. Employee pricing is coming to an end. Don't miss your chance to save big on a new Ram. Like this new 2025 Ram 2500 Laramie 4x4, priced at $15,548 off MSRP with employee pricing, plus additional discounts and rebates. But act fast. These deals disappear when employee pricing ends. Visit us on Cypress Avenue or at crownmotorsreading.com.
Well, happy 4th of July evening. Thank you so much for joining me here for your evening forecast. Hoping to have a good 4th of July so far. And of course, you've got more going on here as we go into tonight. You know, we are going to be done with the mountain thunderstorms by this weekend. So, you know, all the chances we've seen this week, we have seen a lot of lightning strikes. But the good news is we're going to break away from that pattern by the weekend. Now, we also saw a nice cooler day today, but we're going to see temperatures creep back up over the weekend, especially going into next week. A little bit of a mini roller coaster ride, but overall temperature is just the typical summer heat. Mid to upper 90s in the valley to around 100 with a spike in our temperatures with some bigger heat. Looks like by the end of next week. All right, we'll get into all that in our deeper dive forecast, but first let's take a look at Krueger's Quickcast for your Friday, 4th of July. Here's what we expect here for tonight. It's going to cool off. Temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60. And then as we take you into the higher elevations, 40s and 50s, looks like the low 50s for the coast. Still some fog tonight for the coast, but that should clear out here. I'm expecting, especially by the second half of the weekend. All right, out the door tomorrow morning. You're kind of recovering from a fun day today, but still should be a nice morning for your morning cup of coffee with temperatures upper 60s in the valley by 8 a.m. Temperatures mainly in the 50s for the coast and the higher elevations. So the area of low pressure spinning to our north is really responsible for those cooler temperatures, but also responsible for the more unstable atmosphere, giving us some of those afternoon thunderstorms. But here's what we got here for the rest of the evening. Tonight, there may be some leftover activity here in parts of Modoc County and maybe even parts of Siskiyou County. But by around 10, 11 o'clock tonight, I think most of that will be gone. And then we go into your Saturday morning. Right, some fog along the coast, clear elsewhere. Now for Saturday afternoon, we're going to have a hard time completely burning things off, but we may see some afternoon clearing along the coast. Just a few afternoon clouds, but no thunderstorms. Yes, no thunderstorms are in the forecast for Saturday in the mountains. Great news. All right, so for tomorrow, looking at temperatures getting warmer, back in the low 90s for the valley, but in the 70s and 80s for the higher elevations and the coast. You're looking at eventually some clearing, I think, in some spots here, especially out towards Delnor County, southern Humboldt County, for example. But your 7-day outlook, yeah, temperatures are warming back up, and there's that spike in our temperatures by the end of next week. And going into that next weekend, we take a look at the coast, low to mid 60s, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Same old story, right? Inland temperatures warming up over the weekend and next week. That's also the case for Trinity County. No thunderstorms for you either. For Siskiyou County, look at this. No lightning strikes, no rain coming from these clouds. Just your typical summer, right? Temperatures low 90s for your Sunday, Monday, and then kind of going up and down a little bit here, but generally in the 90s through next week. All right, let's go and take a look at your deeper dive forecast. But before we get to that, there's a free Weather NorCal app. It's super easy for you to download. All you have to do is go to Weather NorCal, search for Weather NorCal in your app store. Make sure there's a space between Weather and NorCal, and you'll be good to go. You've got the free Weather NorCal app. You can share your photos. You can check the latest forecast. It's hyper-local, folks. That's the beauty of it. All right, Krueger's Quickcast, we are done with that. Hope you have yourselves a great day if that's all you needed. But if you want a more detailed forecast, like your fire weather forecast, for example, sponsored by Garmin's Tractor Service, you know, a little breezy here this evening here, but going into your Saturday, look at this. The winds overall, not that bad. We take you into Sunday, not that bad on Sunday. Maybe a little bit stronger with those winds, but we don't have any wind events heading our way, at least through the weekend. That is going to have an impact on our fire weather risk. It's still going to be quite dry on Saturday. Don't get me wrong. We still need to be careful. We are going to be in that barely See, kind of right here in the moderate to high range here. And the main reason is because of the temperatures going up a bit and humidity is quite low. But one of the factors that's going to help us is the fact that we don't have very strong winds. But we still have to be very careful, right? Now, the humidity levels by noon on Sunday will be in the mid to upper teens. I think they could drop down to the low teens, maybe even some single digits by Sunday as well. Still hot and dry even for your Sunday. So again, there's the area of low pressure, the cooler air. That's the reason why our temperatures were below normal today. All right, so again, just some of that leftover activity here into the evening hours, but by, 10, 11 o'clock at night, I think most of it will be gone. And then tomorrow morning, there's that fog along the coast. Having a hard time burning off that fog completely, but afternoon clouds, but no thunderstorms in the mountains for your Saturday. Now, Sunday, it's kind of interesting. All right, so let's take a look at Sunday morning, first of all. You've got the fog along the coast, no big surprises there. That fog will burn off here pretty rapidly, even for places like Eureka, so I do expect more sunshine for your Sunday on the coast. But look at this. What is this? Come on now, seriously? It's picking up on some showers out towards Modoc County, which could mean maybe even a thunderstorm or two. At this point, I'm not going to put it in the forecast just yet. We'll have to watch that. Of course, be sure to check with your forecast with Chase Wilson over the weekend. He'll keep you updated with that potential as well. But for now, I'm going to keep it thunderstorm free throughout the weekend and really even through next week. All right, so that mile there, that's what's in place. And that's the reason why our temperatures were below normal. That's moving out. Now, the thing is, some energy is breaking off from this cooler air here, and that's going to kind of park itself off the coast and over Northern California over the weekend and even into early next week. Now, it's still going to be warm. Temperatures in the valley, mid to upper 90s to even around 100 degrees. But it's going to prevent this heat from really expanding as strong as it would like to. But eventually, as we get toward the end of next week, that warmer air moves out. And now that heat's going to be allowed to expand into our region. And that's why we expect a spike in our temperatures by the end of next week. There you can see temperatures dropping, it's not dropping, but actually increasing to the low 90s. But then we see how we kind of level out mid to upper 90s through Wednesday. And there's that spike gradually dropping slowly going into that next weekend. Hey, take a look at the wave heights for your Saturday. Looks pretty good if you're going to be on a small boat. But we are starting to see those wave heights increase a little bit. This might also prompt the Weather Service eventually by the second half of the weekend to maybe small craft advisory type criteria. Of course, stay tuned for that. But overall, looks pretty good for your Saturday. Trinity County temperatures are warming up, upper 80s to low 90s in most cases. No showers, no thunderstorms, just warming up this upcoming weekend and next week. For the North Coast, you're looking at the coast staying dry. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s under partly to mostly cloudy skies there. Dry for the inland areas, warming up too. Mid 90s by the time we get to Sunday, mid to upper 90s pretty much through next week, but no showers, no thunderstorms. Siskiyou County, look at that. No lightning strikes in your forecast here. Just partly cloudy skies. Temperatures warming up this weekend and especially going into next week. Modoc County, for now, no thunderstorms in the forecast. You did see on Futurecast, though. We'll see what happens on Sunday. But for now, we're going to keep Sunday dry as well and warming up through next week. Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, your temperature should be in the low to mid 80s, although Viola, one of the cooler spots, at about 74 degrees. Thunderstorm free, lightning free. Oh yeah, that's always a welcome sight, isn't it? The rain will be nice, but not the lightning strikes. Your valley neighborhood forecast to the south, temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s for your daytime highs to the south. Chico, you'll top out at about 91 degrees for your Saturday, warming up by Sunday and into early next week. Triple digits by Thursday and Friday. Temperatures again warming up a little bit here, but still not that bad. Low 90s for most of us in the valley. You can see a little bit cooler for Whiskeytown at 88. And it looks like about 87 degrees out in Lakehead. All right, so there's your 7-day forecast for Redding. Yeah, I mean, we're flirting with 100 degrees here as early as Sunday, mid to upper 90s through Wednesday, and then that spike in those temperatures by Thursday and Friday. All right, that is your evening update. I will be back on Monday, but in the meantime, be sure to check in with Chase Wilson over the weekend for your morning, noon, and evening update for Saturday and Sunday. Until then, have a great 4th of July weekend.
Construction season is well underway in the North State, and we'd like to remind drivers to slow down around work zones. Keep Caltrans workers safe when they're on the job, and remember to be work zone alert when you see the color orange. Remember to pay attention to signs, merge early, avoid distractions, and don't speed. This message is brought to you by Caltrans District 2.